we shouldn't try to protect his own feelings, but the fact is she needs him now, and he's got to be there.
All right, but she still has bigger fish to fry than this a-hole anyway.
Yeah, but you know, it really helps.
All right. Well, what can she tell him? You know what I mean?
Get that transplant, boy. Hillary, can we talk a little more to her?
Why don't you talk to her off the air?
All right.
Tom.
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
I had a couple questions for you guys. My first question was...
where are you from, Tom?
I'm Downey.
Boy, we have the world's stupidest listeners. I absolutely love this.
He sounds like the guy at the television show.
Balky?
Yes.
I don't know. He was too believable. I don't think it's Bronson Pinchot. Tom?
Yes.
I'm going to ask you again, and here's the game we're going to play.
Okay.
I'm just going to keep asking where you're from.
All right.
Where are you from, Tom?
Downey.
Okay. Just going to keep going. Not going to explain the rules. Where you hail from, Tom?
Downey.
Mm-hmm. Where are you from, Tom?
Downey.
Where?
Downey.
Where's that?
Downey.
Where are you from?
Downey.
Where are you from originally?
Oh, I'm from Puerto Rico.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen. Who said the Puerto Ricans aren't smart? Come on. Only took him 15 Downey replies before we got to his country of origin.
Oh.
Yes.
All right.
All right. See? Okay.
Oh, can I ask a question now?
Yes, Mr. Concrete.
All right.
No, listen. We're going to go to break, actually.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, tease us with your question, then we'll go to break.
All right. Well, my first question was, I recently got a proposition.
Hold on. We got to beef up the borders, Drew. He's weakening the herd this time. All right. Sorry, Tom. Go ahead.
I recently got a proposition to start a career as a porn film star.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to talk to you guys to see if you talk to people that have been in the industry already, and if they have negative or positive experiences from that.
Mm-hmm.
And I also wanted to ask you guys, what are the consequences of getting a penis enlargement?
Okay, Tom. We're going to put you on hold.
All right.
All right. Stay there.
Okay.
Don't handle anything sharp.
Okay, I won't.
Fixate on something shiny, and we'll go to break. And I'm guessing, see, what a lot of guys don't understand is they're probably talking about gay porn. Because guys usually have to break in through the Bahamian route before they get into the straight stuff. Because the thing about porn is, the guys who are in the porn industry, your Ron Jeremys, your Peter Norths, your Tom Byrons, of course the legends like John Leslie, guys like this, they never leave.
Don't give up their jobs.
Ron Jeremy should have been, he should have been drummed out of porn in the late 60s. Here's a guy, I mean, I've never seen a man look worse naked than Ron Jeremy. I really haven't. I mean, I would rather watch my dad hump my grandmother than watch Ron Jeremy on top of a woman. But the point is they never leave. So there's no room. There's no turnover. Whereas the women, they turn over constantly. They get their coke habit cleaned up or something, and they toss them out, or they have a kid, or they kill themselves, or whatever it is. But they're good for like 2 or 3 years in the business, and there's a lot of turnover. It's actually one of the more attractive aspects of porn. But the guys are there. I mean, it's like I've never met Ron Jeremy in my life, but I feel like we're brothers. Like I know everything about him. Know what I'm saying, Drew?
Yeah.
Okay. Name one porn star, Drew.
Ron Jeremy.
All right. We'll be back with Tom and help him get launched in his career of gay porn.
Hey, this is John Popper from Blues Traveler, and you're listening to The Loveline, where love likes to hang out.
All right. I'm Adam Carolla. He's Dr. Drew. Phone number, 1-800-LOVE-191. Fax number, 310-854-4455. Joey Lawrence is not here tonight. He'll be in on Monday. And here comes Drew, fresh off the phone. Drew. Were you talking to that poor girl with the heart problem over the phone? Yeah. What happened?
I can't bear to hang up on her. I keep going to talk some more. I mean, It's just an amazing situation.
Oh, all right. Well, let's move forward.
She's a virologist. I would worry that she's a
virologist?
I mean, to me, when I think of a young person with a cardiomyopathy, it's a virus that does that. And I worry that maybe she got exposed to something, and who knows?
She's a virologist?
Studies viruses.
No, boy. Does that take any kind of particular training or just a good nose?
She's at the University of Chicago.
I think in my next life I'm going to study. Tom?
Yes.
You're 20?
Yeah.
You're from Downey?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
No, well, I live in Downey.
Right. Glad we straightened that out. So you want to get into the porn industry?
Well, I'm thinking about it. I've been giving it some thought, for the last month or so.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to get the facts before I enter the industry because I do not want to regret it later down the line,
How can you not regret
Come
that?
back and haunt you like when you're...
yeah, when I do get married.
Working that menial job on the floor of some factory. You don't want to take a ribbon from, like, the foreman?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tom, what do you think your porn name might be?
I don't know, Tom the Bomb or I haven't given it much thought.
Yeah, you don't have to use your real first name if this is in fact your real first name.
Yeah, it is my first name.
I think the only shot he has is playing the ethnic card.
Well, you didn't talk to him about the homosexual stuff yet, whether he's agreeable to that.
You have to do at least 150 gay porns before you can break into the heterosexual ranks, or 2 snuff films. You pick.
No, thank you.
All right, so how do you figure you're going to break in, Tom?
Oh, well, actually, an agent talked to me, and she said that I fit the profile, that had the right looks, for the industry.
Mm-hmm.
So she gave me a card, and then I later went to her office, and, she said if I ever want to enter the industry, all I had to do was talk to her, and she would get me into it.
Where did she see you and walk up to you?
Well, I guess I was working at a restaurant, and I was hair waiter. And
what a bizarre...
That's going to be the name of his first gay porn, head waiter. How about a side of ranch with that, Tommy?
Nah,
all right.
No, thanks.
All right. No, thank you. Tom, she's talking about gay porn.
No. She wasn't talking about gay porn.
How do you know? Did she specify heterosexual porn?
Yeah, definitely.
She did?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard the word heterosexual before?
Yes, I have heard the word heterosexual before.
All right. Well, I say you go under the name, let's say, like the Puerto Rican Marauder or something like that. You got to play the ethnic card, otherwise it's going to be it's too much competition out there.
Yeah.
All right. I say go for it. I don't think it's going to haunt you at all.
What the hell's the matter with you?
Well, why? What the hell's Tom going to do? He does a few porn movies. All right. Drew agrees. Yeah, it's your calling. Yeah, that's enough.
Weren't you the other night, 2 nights ago, going, what kind of show are we developing here? Why do we answer these questions? Remember that? That was you, wasn't it? Or do you have an evil twin or something? Or a more sensible twin?
I rethought that stance I took. Kelsey.
Hi.
You're 17.
Yeah, I have a pimple type thing on my vagina, and I was just wondering what it could be.
Probably a Bartholin's gland cyst. There are multiple little glands in that area that can become sort of clogged and infected and cystic, and then they'll break loose. And
come on, Drew. I got to masturbate later, please.
All right.
Let's not get too graphic.
But it is something you ought to see a doctor about, because they can really be quite infected sometimes.
Really?
Yeah.
Where's it located?
It's like kind of up on the top, like next to my clitoris.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, take hot baths.
Is that on the inside or the outside?
On the outside.
Take hot baths in the meantime, and there's lots of little sort of carbuncles and things that can develop in that area.
But I shouldn't be too worried.
No.
Okay.
But hot baths.
Okay.
Well, how do you know it's not something, Drew? I mean, maybe she was with some
is it
crazed drug addict or something.
No, not really. I mean, like when I like
push on it.
It's like it's just like a pimple, really.
It's not ulcerating or anything of that sort.
No.
Yeah. I mean, somebody needs to look at it.
You got a boyfriend?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Where's he been?
Not around.
Okay. All right, Drew. Drew usually goes right to the STD. But you're not going there this time.
Because she said it looked like STDs don't look like a pimple. They look like ulcers. They're craters, typically. Or blisters and that sort of thing. Not a pimple, typically.
All right. Leslie.
Yes.
You're 28.
Yes.
What's going on?
Over probably the last year, I've caught my 6-year-old, well, she was 5 at the time, she's now 6, rubbing herself, almost to the point, like she's been masturbating. I've caught her, she's been real sweaty, red. My husband and I both have discussed it, and we don't know if it's something normal.
Yes.
It is?
It is?
To a point.
To a point. I say probably over the last year I've caught her maybe at the most 4 or 5 times.
Does she stop when you catch her?
Yeah, and I've questioned her about it, but she clams up on me. She doesn't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
So I get frustrated, and so does she. And
it's going to be one of those great stories when she's like 26, 27, and her and her fiance are over for Thanksgiving, and Leslie has, half a bottle of Chianti and starts running a little loose at the jaw. This is going to be one of those great stories. Moms always have a couple of good ones they can yank out, just embarrass the hell out of you in front of whoever you've brought over for dinner. Leslie, this will be good for that. Until then, it doesn't seem to be a problem, Drew?
I don't think so. I mean, young girls particularly, and sometimes guys, will self-stimulate. Not to orgasm, typically. They really don't have that function capability yet. But just because there is some pleasurable sensation with it, and so they will mess around.
Yeah. I don't think I did much of that. I was waiting. Usually I was waiting for the payday, and then I got involved.
I definitely would not yell at her about it, make her feel bad about it, that sort of thing. I mean, that's how you...
How about, Drew, one of my inventions, Leslie, and you may want to utilize this one, is, that collar they put on dogs so they can't get to their parts, if there's an infection or something like that the vet puts on them. What about, George Jetson's wife, Trixie Jetson, or what the hell was her name? Jane. Oh, Drew, in a rare moment of clarity, everybody. Yeah, like her skirt look. What about something like that for youngins? Would that be sensible, Drew?
They could still frauterize.
How about spraying their hand with apple bitters or something like that?
No, but they could still rub up against things. They'd have to use their hands.
Okay. I'm going to give this a little more thought, Leslie. But it appears to be okay.
Okay.
Drew's give it the big thumbs in.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Tiffany.
Yeah, hey.
Hey, you're 18.
Yep. I have a problem with getting into abusive relationships, and...
Well, it's easy. You just... Oh, I see. You're doing it repeatedly?
Yeah, I've only had about 2 relationships that I haven't been physically and verbally abused.
Mm-hmm. You want to gamble, Drew?
Too easy.
Too easy?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No intrigue.
It could be too obvious.
And when I...
But what's the extent of the abuse? That could be the question.
All right, let's get specific.
All right, hold on there, Tiffany. We're going to gamble on your past.
Okay.
It's quite an honor to be gambled on here on Loveline. Okay. People used to resent it. Now they look forward to it. It's like, I don't know, it's like making Blackwell's List or something. There's a certain dubious distinction.
No, why do we bother if you're not...
Oh, Christ, you're so cheap, Drew. I dropped... I dropped $5 down here yesterday or the day before.
Right, you required change.
You're damn right I want to change. Right. Putting your kids through college. All right, Tiffany.
And by the way, I always make sure I carry $1 on because of all the abuse you leveled towards me at one point. All right? Tossing a little back.
All right. Well, part of that was meant for Joey Ramone, who didn't have any money. Really steams me when these big celebrities come in here. They don't have any money.
I carry $1 in my wallet.
Okay.
Just for this.
All right. You want to gamble when we come back?
No, do it now.
Okay. Go. You go first.
She was physically abused by an alcoholic dad beginning at a very young age.
Mm-hmm.
And became sexually abused then, like around 7, 8, by cousin, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then probably
what was his name?
Joey. And it's probably a rape around age 12. How about that?
Okay. Boy, that's a fair amount of abuse there, Drew.
Just guessing.
And here's the sad thing about this gambling is Drew's really pulling for that buck. He's got his fingers crossed. God willing, she was raped at 12.
Come on.
I'm going with just Physical abuse.
Get specific. I said that starting at a young age. What kind of physical?
No, all right. I'm taking your bet, but I'm going no sexual abuse.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
All right.
And I'm saying it went on.
You're saying it went on. All right. Tiffany?
Sure, this is
Wait, don't talk. We got to go to break. All right? All right, I want you to think about your answer, and when we come back, we'll figure out who's taking home the big bucks.
Hi, this is Shaggy, Mr. Lover up front and personal, and you're listening to Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. Got it going on up close and personal. Yeah.
Wow. I'm so happy I don't have a rap, because the problem is when you get a rap, you got to do it all the time or people get pissed off. I just have the nasal rap going. Hey, Drew, was Shaggy the guy who got pissed off at you and left?
No, Shaggy's the guy I like, and it was, who was the other guy? I didn't know the other guy. Maxi Priest or something.
No, Maxi Priest? That's one guy, right? I always thought that was a band.
I did, too. I didn't really know. I didn't know. And
Maxi Priest was on here with Shaggy one night. I wasn't around.
No, you were off that night or something.
And anyway, Maxi Priest got pissed at Drew because he didn't show him the proper respect, and he left.
Respect, what I did was talk too much to Shaggy, who was a friend, a nice guy.
You're very offensive, Drew, please. I could understand. I don't blame him a bit. It's weird. And Maxi Priest, he's like a reggae guy, right?
Yeah. Oh, he didn't just...
It's kind of bizarre when these guys that smoke a kilo of weed a week get uptight about, etiquette.
And let me tell you, he was not mellow. He
wasn't.
Oh. Remember that? Like scary, hostile.
Jeez. My plan is to have everyone so stoned that I can just beat them into submission and take over the world.
He was pacing in the hall and then had to go outside for fresh air because he was so mad.
Well, yeah, he must not have been stoned. His connection must have dried up or something. That is not the work of a stoned man. Jeez, imagine this guy drunk. Went upside your head with a folding chair.
Oh, yeah.
All right, when we left off, we were talking to Tiffany. Tiffany's 18. Tiffany has a cycle of bad relationships. I went with physical abuse. Drew went with physical abuse, sexual abuse, and rape. And my buddy Larry in the next room went with absent dad. So everyone's just getting in on this one. So that's why there's $3 out there, Drew. Tiffany?
I feel so special.
It is an honor. It really is.
Yes. Sorry to say, Dr. Drew, but
yes.
I was not sexually abused when I was little. My dad, ever since I can remember, was really abusive and...
Physically?
Yeah.
Yes.
And when he was there, of course.
Uh-huh. Family, but did your folks get divorced?
Just this last summer, we had to move out because he's had guns out to my mom and my head.
Oh, nice.
And he's just moved out this last summer. And
were you ever raped or sexually assaulted?
True, you're not getting the money.
No, I'm just curious.
I'm just curious. You said no.
I'm sorry, Drew.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I mean, I also picked up on the physical abuse too, and I assumed...
No, Drew, you did more than you gave a multi-answer. I just went with the easy one, but I'll take the $3 anyway. Thank you.
But it's like when I get in a relationship that's not abusive, I feel I'm not good enough to be in that relationship,
right.
And I need to get out and get into another.
You sabotage it.
You see, your dad threatened you and your mom with a gun?
Yeah.
What's your dad do? Does he work around metal?
No, he's a United Food and Commercial Workers Union rep.
Union rep, huh?
Yep. One of those freaks.
And he's violent? Has he ever been had the cops called on him or anything?
Yeah, he did because he came to school like last week and he like totally dragged me out of class physically. And we have a restraining order that he can't come to school. And he dragged me out of class physically. And
what about even like during open house?
Yeah.
Okay.
He can't even come then.
Does he drink?
I don't think so. I've never seen him drink.
All right, so it's good that you're away from this guy, right?
Yeah, so far. He's like, I don't know, he's still being a...
All right, I would stay as far away from this guy as possible.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's like, well, why don't you come see me and put these guilt trips on me? I feel guilty. And
oh, Tiffany, please. Get in one of these
I hope he shoots himself like cleaning his gun.
Get in one of these relationships where you feel uncomfortable and force yourself to stay in it and talk to your boyfriend at the time about your ambivalence about staying in because of your past. And see if you can
get into a relationship where you feel uncomfortable and force yourself to stay in it.
Yeah. Realize that, make a very careful
I know it's
choice.
retarded logic, but it makes sense. Because if it doesn't feel good to you, chances are it's a good relationship.
And real change is always very painful. And if you're able to make real change, maybe you can make a genuine connection with some guy and have a decent relationship.
Okay, but you're 18, you know what's going on, you know where this is emanating from. And let's be honest, it's going to be a few more bad relationships before you get into a good one. And just hopefully there's no permanent damage.
So pick the nice guy, be uncomfortable, stay in it, and he'll turn into an abusive guy.
No, you can't convert a nice guy into an abusive guy.
What is he'll actually be the abusive guy? She wouldn't have been able to stay in it at all.
Oh, I feel foolish. But $3 richer, Ryan.
Yeah, hey, Adam, Drew, how you doing?
Good.
Ed, Adam, I think you're one of the funniest guys on earth, and Drew, congratulations for putting up with him.
Thank you.
About 4 or 5 weeks ago, I was carving a jack-o'-lantern and sliced my hand up pretty good, and I'm in a kind of a cast or whatever you want to call it, and had to start masturbating with my left hand. And my right hand and I have enjoyed a pretty monogamous relationship for my entire life, and I've had a girlfriend who is...
Hold on.
Mike's losing it back here.
I'd like to invent some sort of masturbation-friendly cast. If I was an orthopedic surgeon, that would be first on my list of things to do. Forget about the scoliosis and osteoporosis. A cast you can masturbate in with some sort of lifelike, I'd even put a little hair around the thumb and forefinger. I really would.
You are disgusting.
And like spray a little bottle of scent you could spray on there.
All right.
That'd be, come on, this is a moneymaker, Drew.
It's not like one of your great ideas.
Some sort of forearm lube dispenser or something where if you sort of knot your forearm up, you get a little injection of water-soluble lubrication. Oh, I could make millions. The Handycast. Mike, do something on the internet. All right. So, Ryan, you switched hands.
Yeah, hey, I wish I could get one of those casts, because
you see?
This is what's going on. My girlfriend and I, we've been together about 3.5 years, and I've always been with good sex life, no problem there. Just lately, and coincidentally, sex life has really gone down the hill. Kind of from my end, just my attitude about it, and I'm wondering if this is a coincidence or not. It's kind of silly, but I'm wondering if the two things might be related somehow.
The fact that you aren't masturbating as much, or that you switched hands?
I'm masturbating. I use about 2 or 3 times a week, kind of in general, and now I moved over to my left hand. It's kind of a weird thing, you know. It kind of makes me a little uncomfortable. It's kind of, you know, it's a new,
but is it
new
still
horizons, and all of a sudden, the sex life is kind of.
All right, listen, Ryan. Yeah. Is it still 2 or 3 times a week?
Yeah, it's still the same.
But he's jealous.
How much longer does it?
His right side is jealous.
He's shunning his right hand. How long? How long does it take now? Has it doubled the time?
It took a while to get used to. Yeah. I mean, you know, I'm getting a little better now. But yeah, it was taking longer. I had to think a lot harder.
See, this is the American spirit, Drew. It really is. You know what I'm saying? This is why this is the greatest nation in the world. Overcoming adversity.
And this is really just, I'm just heartbroken by this one. This is a toughie.
Yeah, a weaker breed would have just folded up tent and left town, but not you, Ryan. And you switched hands. You passed the torch off to your right hand, or pardon me, your left hand, and continued working away on your penis diligently. This is the kind of guy that went working for me. Of course, you'd have to clock out before you went to the bathroom.
What is going on with your relationship with your girlfriend?
Well, actually, Drew, she's a second-year medical student, and so she's pretty busy.
Yeah.
Our sex life, we live together. We have sex maybe once or. I'm pretty happy if it's twice a week, and I've been happy with that for the last couple of years. That hasn't really been an issue. We enjoy each other a lot, and what's going on is lately that isn't really enough. I mean, I guess I've noticed myself being
so that makes
more
sense,
frustrated
right?
more often when we can't have sex.
All right, that makes sense. You're not gratified with the techniques you've been using to sort of keep yourself disarmed, so to speak. You actually would like to have sex more than twice a week, and now that's more of an issue, once again, and that's becoming a point of stress between the two of you, and that's understandable. That would make the relationship change. And I'll tell you something, you start pushing on a woman to do that, and guess what happens? You've mentioned this before, Adam, right?
I was working out the handy cast in my mind's eye.
You start pushing a woman to have more sex, they tend to push back even further.
Right. Yeah. Joey.
Hey, guys.
Hey, you're 21.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here's my problem. Basically, I'll be at work and, for no reason whatsoever, I mean, I won't see a good-looking girl or nothing, but I'll get an erection.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is that, at work I have to stand up sometimes, and I'm wearing slack, and I have a tent pitched, and so I don't exactly want to stand up all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't get it to go down. I can't. I mean, I'll try to think of cars or something else. And
Could you go on disability for this, Drew?
I don't think
this
so.
is a pretty viable reason why you couldn't work.
Another overwhelming problem for humanity.
Yeah. Oh, this is a tough one. Where do you work, Joey?
I work at a courthouse.
Mm-hmm. What do you do there?
I work at an information desk.
Mm-hmm. How often do you have to stand up? I notice most employees of the city or state rarely stand up. They usually somewhere around 12:30 when the lunch truck goes by. But other than that, I don't see them doing a whole lot of movement, at least none that I've seen. But you have to stand up, like point out directions and stuff?
Something along that line.
And you don't have anything shielding your penis?
I'm afraid not.
This didn't happen in high school or anything like that?
No, not really.
This is a new problem.
Fairly recent, yes.
All right. What can you do about it, Drew? Think about Vietnam? What do you think, Drew?
It needs a relationship.
Are you getting any sex, Joey?
With myself.
I'm not sure that counts.
Joey?
Yes.
I want you to, I don't know. I don't care. I'm done with Joey.
Thank you.
You're right.
Thank you.
Boy, I don't like this maturity thing, Drew. I think I'm outgrowing even the spontaneous erection calls. It's really sad. At the tender age of 13.
So let me do
I should say 33. Joey cast me back to 13 in those tender years of spontaneous erections. I never get the spontaneous erection anymore, do you?
Well, you masturbate so damn much, I'm surprised you ever get an erection, period.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's right. Hey, you're a genius, Drew. And stop knocking me. All right, when we come back, what are we going to do, Drew? Why don't you sell the hell out of the next call?
I want to talk to Hillary again.
And we'll talk to her off the air.
No, I'll talk to her on the air.
Well, what are you going to talk to her about? She has her heart's bad, and
she's still worrying about the boyfriend.
Oh, she is?
Yeah. Yes.
I feel real bad because she's in real bad shape and everything, but we already talked to her for a while.
Again.
All right, and don't eat any more of my granola bar.
All
right, we'll be back. Yeah, thank you. You into the techno music at all, Drew?
Negative. No.
Really? There's no techno opera?
No. There's no techno bone in my body.
I'll put a techno bone in your body.
All
right. Drew's getting punchy because it's Thursday, and as anyone who listens to the show with any regularity knows, Drew checks out about Tuesday, 10:45, and that's a late week. Yeah, 11:30.
Yeah.
Hey, you've pushed it back. Really got longevity. All right. We will play the Dr. Drew Shuffle or Boogie? Shuffle. Yeah. The first, and for my money. I don't like it that much. But we're going to hear it anyway in 10 seconds. It is Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew. Phone number 1-800-LVE-191. Fax number 310-854-4455. Tonight, the guest is the love that the two hosts find between each other.
You know, what's been going on between us lately?
Nothing.
What
are you talking about?
We've been pretty hostile to each other.
That's not true. I'm hostile to everybody now. As soon as I started making some money, I became a big a-hole.
No, only recently.
Only recently?
They became more obvious recently. But I've been kind of on your case a little bit, too. And remember we were going to get a therapist last week, the couples therapist.
Yeah, we need counseling.
We were having trouble last week.
Well, I think I've been the one that's doing the most amount of riding. But you're very passive-aggressive.
Really? I hate that.
Yeah.
If I get that,
look into that.
Point it out if I get that.
Well, I point it out, but then you accuse me of being hostile.
Point it out a little more supportively.
All right. If there are any counselors listening, they may want to. We may want to book them next weekend.
Passive aggressive. I am not passive aggressive.
You know how you are. I tell you like every single night to get yourself a new magic marker, and you won't do it.
It's fine. We got to do it here.
Yeah, because Mike brought one in. You don't do it. Every night you go for the Kleenex box, after we start on the air. Always with the racial jokes. You know how I hate those. All right, anyway. The Dr. Drew Shuffle is something that engineer Mike put together, some time ago, probably over a year, and it's based on all those OCCDs. Oh, no, wait a minute. OCDDs, the out-of-context Drew drops, which I used to have a lot of fun with on this show until the cart machine went on the fritz, and Westwood 2, being the company they are, hasn't seen fit to either repair it or replace it. Is that
better run?
Drew, don't interrupt me while I'm talking to Engineer Mike. Is that accurate, Engineer Mike? I can't figure out what is up with this dump. I swear,
that and I don't get paid for doing these. So.
Yeah, we only have
a lot of free time lately.
We have half an engineer. We have an engineer with carpal tunnel syndrome and Epstein-Barr virus, and now he's working on the Lycus show, which is it. Oh, he loves that Lycus. Thank God he's got someone who loves him. The point is the equipment they have here. If those of you who listen to the show every night. Try to picture in your mind's eye what the studio looks like. And whatever you're picturing, I want you to step it down about 700%. I mean, picture, remember in MASH, when Radar would get on the horn and try to talk to, Tokyo for range and lead?
I wish we had a nice studio like that.
Yeah, that.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Oh, boy, that's beautiful. He had that, old cloth wiring and everything. But we leave the door open here because, I'm scared something's going to burst into flames at any moment now. We're the only place in Los Angeles that doesn't have a DAT machine. Oh, please, it's Westwood 2. What a dump. And no pride. Not an ounce of pride do those people have. How long have I been bagging on the chairs in this studio, Drew? And our poor guests who have to sit with their ass actually lower than the slab of the building. I've not figured out where they found they got Houdini's chairs in here. Their ass is lower than the carpet is. I still can't mathematically figure that one out. And the mic is usually it's like a ring announcer. Poor bastards, they're looking up into this thing like they're shooting a porn movie or something. Anyway, that's a fabulous Westwood 2. No pride. The reason Drew and I have good chairs is because a listener gave it to us, and when we leave, I guarantee you the chairs are going with me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay. As a matter of fact, Engineer Mike, I saw somebody sitting in my chair the other day and didn't appreciate it much because I do not want Westwood 2 to benefit 1 ounce from these chairs. I got to spread some kind of Ebola virus or something. Could I do that? I want to put some of my own fecal matter on it or something. I want to pollute this chair so that only I can enjoy it. Because it just saddens and sickens me to think that the Westwood 2 folks would benefit at all from the chairs that our generous listeners gave us. There's 2 decent things in this entire studio. It's these 2 chairs, and neither one of them Westwood 2 produced. All right. Now that I've gotten myself fired, come on, Engineer Mike. Stop kissing ass to the man. You know you love it. All right, let's hear the OCDDs put in the form of a rap compilation by the once motivated Engineer Mike.
Pee on this stick. Makes me sick. Pee on this stick. Makes me sick. If I find you stealing my underwear again, here's what's going to happen. Asshole. Stuff like this makes me sick. You're fat. Asshole. You're fat. Can I say that? You're fat. You're overweight. I want to be dominated. You're gay. I want to be dominated. You're gay. When I was 19, I ate about 4 boiled peyote buttons and stayed up all night but felt no effect. It's called intimacy. Can I say that? This is not acceptable. Can I say that? You're fat. Not acceptable. Pee on this stick. Boiled peyote button. Not acceptable. You're overweight. Can I say that?
Give me the faggot better run one more time, Mike, please. I beg of you. It's still my favorite.
I like his second thing better.
All right, but all right.
Faggot better run.
Thank you.
I'm in pain. My breast hurt.
I'm old school, though, Drew.
Ever since I stopped taking Depo-Provera, I've been lactating. He wants to groom this child for his, abuse farm.
that is actually that's almost better than the faggot better run, the grooming for the abuse farm. All right, so it's back to the phones we go. Do we have to talk to Hillary again? Hillary?
Hello?
You're 25.
Tell Ann about your... Hillary is a...
I know she has a grave condition.
She's a 25-year-old with a congestive cardiomyopathy. She's a virologist at the University of Chicago. And she has a boyfriend who...
How come this crap... why do felons go on forever?
It's the law of inverse worth.
And here's somebody with...
The least worthwhile you are, the more likely you are to survive adversity.
Jesus Christ! I swear, I wish I could take your condition and thrust it upon even my neighbors. Actually, quite honestly. All right. So anyway, Hillary, you have a horrible condition, and
your boyfriend is withdrawing and freaking out.
You may only have 6 months. Was it 6 months to live?
Yeah, she's waiting for a cardiac transplant.
I know, but I know you don't like to be negative, but people listening are curious
potentially
what the situation.
I don't have enough facts to make my own impression about this, but somebody had told her that the clock is ticking. And the boyfriend's freaking out and withdrawing, and her instinct is to protect the boyfriend and her family. Her family's across the country, and she has not gotten her family involved in supporting her through this, and she wants to break up with the boyfriend so he doesn't have to go through it. I mean, I don't
know, but so what do you do? You force the boyfriend to be mature?
You confront him and tell him how much you need him. You don't reject him and try to get it to break up.
Okay.
Just to try to save his feelings.
Can you do that, Hillary?
I don't know. I mean, he gets very upset, and he cries, and he doesn't want my medication out.
He doesn't what with your medication?
He doesn't want, to see my medication. He wants it, put away.
How old is this guy?
He's 27.
What's up with him? I mean, I understand it's a serious situation, but he can't face reality?
No, he is just completely freaked out.
Well, I don't know. Maybe maybe this guy's showing his true colors there.
Maybe when she gets through the crisis and gets her new car and whatnot.
Yeah, but now you know how the guy reacts when the chips are down. He starts crying.
Well, but he's crying because he's so upset about what's happening to her.
Yeah, but he's being selfish that way.
Yes.
I mean, he's upsetting Hillary because of her condition. I mean, he's got to be strong here.
Yeah, but she needs him now. And now's not the time to try to break off with this relationship and start a new one. It's just not possible.
All right, so confront the guy, and if he starts crying, just backhand him.
Yeah, let him know.
Is that all right?
Yeah, well.
That's the problem with this country. There's no more of that backhanding. Get hold of yourself. Remember people do that? People start crying, and you shake them and slap them around a little, and yell, get hold of yourself. Now everyone's got to get some kind of medication. They got to go through therapy. You got to coddle them. Oh, man, do I miss those days of the good backhand. Lori.
Yes.
You're 18.
Yes, I am.
No. All right, now I'm hanging up on you.
Why?
Okay, what's your problem?
First, if Hillary's listening, I want to tell her I feel really bad for her, and she'll be in my prayers.
That's nice.
Thanks.
Okay. So, I guess this started about a year ago, but, a couple of weeks ago, maybe even longer, my boyfriend and I were looking at, Playboys and stuff, because, I've got, a really good body and stuff, and he's always saying, I should pose in Playboy, I got the tits for it and everything, but I don't know. Anyways.
I don't know. Do you have large breasts, Lori?
Yeah.
Because for some reason, Playboy has worked the large bosom right out of the equation over the last 5 years, systematically. Now there are all these, Vogue models and these ramp models and these waif models. It's really pathetic. For some reason, they've gone artsy, and you can't have a big set of knockers and be considered artistic. It's exploitive if you have a large chest. That makes me sick.
Yeah, I'm pretty upset about it.
Yeah, I remember the days of Candy Loving and Patty Farinelli and the ones of yore. Huge chested. It used to be you had to have a big rack to get into Playboy. Now it's you just got to be good looking. So I don't like it all.
Yeah, I'm pretty upset about it too.
Yeah, all right, but anyway.
But I really like looking at them, and lately I've fantasized about, like, women a lot, and I consider myself heterosexual. I have a boyfriend, and we've been going out for, like, a year, and I'm in love with him, but I've had, like, a lot of fantasies about women.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, even during sex, I'll think about it.
It's okay.
And I don't know if, like, if it means I'm gay or...
It doesn't really mean anything.
Women are allowed to fantasize about other women. It's
Well, also,
healthy. It's when guys do it is when it gets a little weird.
In our culture, women are really sort of symbols of sexuality and eroticism, and so it's just an expression of that. I mean, if you're interested in having a relationship with a woman, that's a different issue.
See, I'm never picturing myself having a relationship with a woman.
No, you're just fantasizing. That's right.
Now, most people that are sexual think about women.
At some point, certainly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, so that's fine. You don't want to get into a threesome?
No.
No?
I fantasized about it, but no.
Right.
I don't think so.
Okay. You're probably healthy.
Well, the point is...
are you making a living with your body? Are you making a living using your body?
No.
No. All right. Just wanted to check that avenue.
That would be healthy, not to.
All right, Lori.
Okay.
All right, keep fantasizing.
Thanks.
You ever fantasize about a man, Drew?
Not that I can recall.
Mm-hmm. You don't want to share that?
No.
Okay. Keep it to yourself. Scott?
Yes.
You're 31.
Yes. I got married. I'm 31. I got 2 small boys. One's 4 and one's 1. My 4-year-old, for some reason, is just completely fixated on touching other kids, younger and older. He's very manipulative.
What do you mean manipulative?
He'll, like, if you find him doing it, it's like the first thing that's on his mind every minute of the day. You can't even leave him alone with another child, because the very first thing that happens is he's trying to take their pants off, and he's trying to get them to do things, touch him. He wants to touch them and explore, and I completely understand that children will want to explore all the time, but
Scott,
this is obsessive with him. I don't know where to go with this whole thing.
I would start...
You're calling from the Boston area?
No, I'm originally from New York, but I'm on the West Coast now.
Yeah, I thought it was one of the Kennedys. This guy's got he has a career in politics. I'll tell you that right now. He's manipulating not only the minds of people, but the genitalia of people. And if you can fondle genitalia and fondle emotions, you have... those are the building blocks of politicians. He's going to be a great leader one day.
Well, he's 4, but he's going on like 8. He's got the mentality and the wit and the sharpness.
Yeah, you got to get him boozing now.
And I don't understand where it's generated from. One commercial daycare for a day just as a trial, and there was an incident there where he had 2 kids in a sandbox touching themselves, and he came home and told us instantaneously. But this stuff was going on before that, and I'm thinking maybe this was the fuel that sparked the fire, and just it's exploding now.
Well, I'm not sure what this all means, but I think you ought to try some just behavior techniques and use timeouts when he does this.
We've done that.
How do you separate the guy from his penis?
He can do his own thing, but it's not appropriate for him to touching other kids, and it's 4 minutes timeout the moment he makes an overture in that direction.
Well, we do. We punish him. We put him in timeout. Timeout is our punishment. We don't hit him or anything like that. We ask him why he wants to do this, and he just says, because I like it, and we teach him about not letting other people touch him, and it's private, and not to touch other people. And he just says, I don't care if other people touch me. I like it. And he's 4, and he's got this look in his eye like, I don't know where he's coming from with all this stuff, and I'm going to take him to see a psychologist or somebody to get a handle on this.
It's a nightmare. He's got a demon seed.
I don't know how to get a handle on it enough to even explain to him that it's inappropriate, let alone.
Well, you don't rationalize with a 4-year-old. You really don't. You try to teach them, but you got to use behavioral techniques, and that is the 4-minute timeout. Just walk them in, and that's it.
What a nightmare! I couldn't imagine. I'd raise my kid in the attic like Anne Frank if they started doing this at school.
Well, it may not be.
Greatest nightmare is that phone call from the counselor or the teacher over at the preschool. Little Adam Jr.'s been exposing himself and yanking off the other kids, and what a nightmare! I'd send the wife to go pick him up if that happened. Drew, I have another great invention. You know, you're always worried about kids being sexualized too early and touching other kids and that sort of thing, like Scott Jr. here. How about a anatomically correct doll that penis shoots out cayenne pepper. You know what I mean? So the kid gets like
eyes.
Yeah, so it gets like a real negative association with the penis. Like, hey, and you don't say anything. Hey, I got you this new doll. Hey, have at it. Yeah, go right ahead. Yeah, enjoy. Just picked it up. The kid, his kid would immediately go for the genitalia, and he'd be yanking on it and looking at it, and right in the eye. He'd roll around, clutching his head and screaming and crying. A couple episodes of that. That'd be about it with the genitalia.
It's a hard thing that Scott's dealing with, and it may not mean anything. And I would seek professional attention just to make sure you're not dealing with something more important. And it's a tough line to walk between not shaming the child for being curious, and not shaming them about their own bodies, or other people, being afraid of other people, but also teaching them what is appropriate social behavior and what isn't. In no uncertain terms.
But your kids at that age are like it's like they're pets. You know what I mean? It's like when you're talking to someone out on the street and your dog is humping their dog or something. I mean, isn't it kind of the same thing? Well, what do you do? I mean, at least with the dog, you can lock them up.
Yank the chain.
I'm gonna need like 3 nannies. And you know what? When I have a kid, I'm gonna need the nanny, the psychologist, and the spokesman.
The spokesman?
Yeah, the representative, the PR guy to go over there.
Look what you need.
Put a positive spin on things.
You need a publicist. Think about that.
I get a publicist for my kid. Publicist.
Can you imagine the bio?
The publicist, yes, when he's not yanking off other kids, he's getting into his father's pornography collection.
Parents weep. Other children scream.
We're having a good time because every time we have some half-baked celebrity come into Loveline, in comes the bio. And the bio is usually cooked up by... who's a great fiction writer? True. Name me one.
Sir Conan Doyle.
Sir Conan Doyle?
The Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, yes. Whoever wrote Sherlock Holmes. Although these things are a little further away from reality. At least Sherlock Holmes may have been based on some truth. But they come in and they really say things like this on the bio. If it's about some average-looking woman in her mid-20s, her radiance shines so brightly, it's like the sun at high noon on a hot July day. When she enters the room, men applaud and women weep openly. And I think to myself, do they ever read these bios? And if they do, how humiliated should they be? The greatest still one of all time was the one we got on Sonny Garcia, the surfer. It made about 8 references to Sonny kicking ass, physically beating people on the bio.
Since kindergarten.
Since kindergarten. It was the most absurd thing I know. Ann doesn't want me to talk about it because the people from Gotcha or No Fear or something called in. Anyway. All right, Drew?
Yeah.
We're going to go to break.
Okay.
Why don't you sell the next call and really just take a beat and really... No. Take a beat and really sell it. I mean, really do it.
You're going to make a performer out of it. Is that
yeah. I want people to come back after the break.
Do you think that's good?
For them to come back
No,
after...
for me to learn how to perform. I don't think so.
Let's not question the motivation, Drew. Just sell
Christina's 15.
Once in your life. Like your kids depended on it.
Christina's 15. She hadn't had sex with her boyfriends, but they've messed around, and she's concerned that she may have a sexually transmitted disease.
All right, I give it a 4.
Hi, this is AJ from the Verve Pipe, and you're listening to Loveline with Adam Carolla and that sexy Dr. Drew.
The Verve Pipe. I think those guys, those guys are around. I think they're in town doing their record or something. Find them, would you? Can you find them? Sure. All right. Because Brian called me and like 3 months ago and said he was going to be in town in like a month doing the record, and he'd call me, but he forgot to call. Well, you know how it is when you've been there, you're cutting an album, and it's like all the hookers and blow and all that stuff, and you're getting oral sex, when you're like trying to record and stuff, and you spin out of control with the lifestyle. So I think they need a reminder. So we got to get the Verve Pipe back on here. I like all those guys.
Nice guys.
Yes, and where the hell were we? Yeah, phone number, 1-800-LVE-191. I'm Adam Carolla. That's Dr. Drew. Show's Loveline, and I want to take this call, Drew. Brandon.
Hello.
I hyped the other one.
Excuse me?
Oh, you did? Boy, it was a really effective job you did. Hold on there, Brandon. Christina.
Yes.